Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr., and welcome to another classic movie review. I am talking about a classic that came out back in 1992. This is based on an Italian book. I believe the translation from Italian to English is um, Darkness and Honey, and it was written by Giovanni Aprino, and it was first made into a film, adapted for a film in 1974. I believe the title was Perfume di Donna. So this movie is kind of a remake, which is something that a lot of fans of this movie do not know. But either way, this movie is still a great movie. It's still a classic, starring the great Al Pacino. Scent of a Woman. I was about 9 when this first came out back in '92, the first time I saw this, and back then I did watch a lot of stuff that kids were into, movies for kids, but for the most part, I saw that stuff only because somebody else would put it on. Usually, I didn't seek out movies like that. I usually would seek out movies with great actors in them because at a very young age, I was watching stuff like The Godfather and The Untouchables and Scarface, and so anything with a certain actor in it, I was gonna gravitate towards, and so it didn't matter that this wasn't a gangster movie. It had Al Pacino in it. In the film, Crystal Donnell's character Charlie is attending high school at a prep school that they call the Baird School, and you can tell the first few minutes into the film that the kids that go to this school all come from money. All their parents are pretty wealthy, but Charlie comes from like lower middle class type of upbringing, and he got into this school on pure hard work and just good grades. Charlie sees an ad that involves temporarily taking care of a blind man over Thanksgiving weekend, and he goes in for an interview and he meets Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade for the first time. The interview doesn't go very well, but either way, he gets to know him just a little bit, and we get a little kind of taste of what's to come with this character. From the beginning, from the get go, from the first time that you see Al Pacino as this character, he is amazing in this role, and it is no wonder why he beat out so many great actors the year that he won his Oscar for this film. But yeah, it's a great performance, and it's a delight all the way through. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade gives Charlie a real hard time during the interview, and while you watch the scene, you can tell that Lieutenant Colonel Slade is kind of enjoying himself during it at Charlie's expense. After this, we see Charlie back at school. It's late at night. He's coming from the library. He runs into a classmate, a character by the name of George, played by a very young Philip Seymour Hoffman, as one of those douchey, snotty rich kids. And it's kind of lit in a way that only the street lights are on. And so, under one of the street lights, there is a car. Happens to be the car of somebody high up in the administration. What happens in the scene after this is something that I don't want to go into detail about and spoil for those that have not seen this. So I won't say anything more than, something happens. It's a movie, something usually does happen. So after this thing happens, Charlie is kind of in the hot seat, and so he is given an ultimatum. So now Charlie has a real problem because his academic future is in jeopardy. And while he mulls that over, he still has this job to do to temporarily take care of this grumpy blind man for the weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. And so he goes to the home of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade, and Lieutenant Colonel Slade is there waiting for Charlie. And Charlie thinks that it's just going to be like a house sitting type of deal, but Lieutenant Colonel Slade has plane tickets. He's ready to go. He has plans to go to New York City. From there on out, it's pretty much touch and go with Lieutenant Colonel Slade and Charlie, as Charlie has to constantly try to figure out what pisses off Lieutenant Colonel Slade and what doesn't. And a lot of things piss him off. At first, Lieutenant Colonel Slade is very relentless in the way that he's constantly insulting Charlie when they first meet and when they first get underway on their trip to New York. And the more that Charlie just takes it, the more that Lieutenant Colonel Slade eventually kind of respects Charlie, and there is a bit of bonding that begins, and then before you know it, you see a bit of a friendship begin to blossom. There are a lot of things to love about Al Pacino's character in this film and the way he plays the character. I really love the sadistic sense of humor that is on display all throughout the film. It's very entertaining to watch. I think that the way he plays a blind man is damn near perfect. Crystal Donnell turns in a great performance in this movie in the role of Charlie Sims. He's completely capable of going toe to toe with somebody like Al Pacino, and he does all throughout the film. They have terrific chemistry together. They have some great moments. Since they are in New York City, Al Pacino's character has this tour of pleasures that he wants to embark on while they're there, which involves staying at the Waldorf and eating a fine meal at this place called the Oak Room, this really fine dining type place, and little other things that I don't want to get into because it's like spoiler territory. But Basically, Charlie Sims is along for the ride. There are so many humorous moments all throughout this film, but there are also some serious moments and it gets very heartfelt at times as well. This is a very well written film, it's a very touching film, beautifully acted, perfectly directed, great screenplay. The music in this movie is also terrific, and if you enjoy great acting, if you enjoy great filmmaking, Scent of a Woman is a 4-star classic. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I highly encourage anybody that has not seen this film, if you want a good laugh or something that really kind of tugs at the heartstrings, I'm sure you can find this on streaming. It's a Universal Pictures movie, so maybe you can find it on Peacock since they have a lot of their, Universal films on there, or maybe like Amazon Prime or whatever. But hard copies might be out there still. I got my hard copy because I am a physical media kind of guy. This is my copy of Scent of Woman on Blu-ray, and you can see there the two characters, main characters of the film, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade and Charlie Sims. Charlie, hooah! Yeah, I had to do it. Sorry. Hooah! Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I very much appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, if you're into the classics, if you're into this kind of thing, hit the bell, become a subscriber. You'll get notifications for more classic movie reviews from me coming your way. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate your support. Please don't forget to comment, share, likes, always helps me out. And please don't forget to look out for the next classic movie review. Everybody take care of each other. Till next time, peace out, God bless, and one more time, hooah!